Process, that's a natural people quest. Metal and the workings, dark and lurking in my mind. Branded neon red and blue flashes, the view from the flats is nice. I see Alice in Wonderland, I see malice in Sunderland. Mouse to house, I am this land, the where without it's Fumberland. Smoke to a karma coma, Jamaicans do yard aromas, shake Bacardis and coke and make me laugh and trust me. So much stuff in many people, the future is not evil, the future is not fiction, it's simple, it's efficient. Now that things are costing nothing, is any of it good? Come and love me, read my nothings, blogging river floods. Dead plant planted on the window ledge, shadows dance, glint and blend. Glance slow at the night outside, I'm God in the game. Sound rumbles in 5.1 round some corner to fight with guns. Play God in games but nothing in trust me. Dubstep, club sweat, come get rough. Red, play the playlist, play the playlist. I see Alice in Wonderland, I see malice in Sunderland. Mouse to house, I love this land, the where without it's Fumberland. Do the wrong thing, joke it right, spurn the longings and the fights. For all the oil and the toil and the spoils of the royals. We are nothing if not nice, we are coughing if we are...
Hello, hello, hello. Good day. It's not really morning. Hello. Welcome to the Daily Study Group. Some quick updates. My name is Miguel Coronado. Well, that's not an update, but my name is Miguel Coronado. I live in Austin, Texas. I'm an illustrator. I work freelance. You can find my work at www.mciii.net, facebook.com/iiimcii. Mike086 on the Crimson Daggers forum. Yesterday was a weird one. We did the Daily Study Group like at midnight, so technically we did the Daily Study Group this morning really early. But I was driving back and forth from Dallas with my girlfriend, so we had to leave early at like 7, which meant we were up like earlier than 7. And we got back, and by the time we got back to the actual house, it was already pretty late. So thank y'all for joining. If you did, it was only like a 40-minute study. It was a movie still. It was a movie still, and I didn't talk because I was really tired and about to fall asleep. Because the night before I was up doing client work. But anyway, long story short, we're doing this Daily Study Group now. I'm going to be working from the book How to Draw by Scott Robertson and Thomas Bertling. How to Draw, and I'll throw that in the chat real quick. CJ Marsh. Did you just put that in my chat, Marsh? Are you here right now? Yeah, don't click on that. Don't click on that link. Marsh is trying to fool you. If you have the How to Draw book, you can pull it out and you can follow along. If you don't, you can follow along with the exercise, but you're going to miss out on all the great words. Also, the actual drawing. We got some plant discussions up today. This is great, actually. I can draw a plant. I'm like that guy. It's been great. It's new for me. It's not new for me, it's just that these are like actual illustration jobs instead of doing like storyboarding and stuff. So that's been great. Here we go. I'm pulling up How to Draw. It's on Amazon. It's like $25. It's really good. You should totally get it. If you don't already have it, if you do have it, buy another one. Static. Is it super staticky? Let me double check my levels. Sorry. Super staticky. I've been informed of aesthetic. CPU quality is above 80%. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Maybe make it a little louder. Might be super staticky because I don't have my other mic plugged in. Gone now? Okay, cool. Okay, that link didn't work, whatever. But anyway, we're going to go for the Scott Robertson book. And if you joined with me the first day we did this, you might have had a hard time following along. Or, I mean, I don't know. We basically drew straight lines the entire time, which is great. It's a great exercise. So, if you didn't enjoy that, I'm sorry. But I did. But that's how basic this book goes, right? It goes back to, like, you know, just controlling your hand and practicing general motor skills in terms of drawing. So we drew straight lines. Let me review real quick. Let me pull out like a proper pen. Okay, so without holding shift, and do if you come in on here, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to use the Photoshop tools. Okay, without holding shift, you're supposed to draw a straight line steadily and with light pressure. So my hand's already sticking to the tablet, but okay, so you're supposed to draw it steadily without pressure. If you draw it fast, it's a lot easier. Like there, like that was me just drawing it fast without. But that's not what we're doing, right? We're trying to steadily control the movement of the pen, the Wacom stylus in this case. So drawing it fast is a no-no. Slow, steady. And you're supposed to start off doing it in 3-inch segments. And the book mentions to consciously draw the line. So, like, actively think about what you're doing. Like, if you see your line careening one way, correct it. And we're supposed to draw them parallel to each other in the same spacing, as close as you can get it. We did this for an hour. We did vertical lines, we did horizontal lines, we went backwards and forwards, and then we connected dots. We did this thing where we connect dots, and you have to, like, starting at, let me make the dots bigger. Starting at these one dot, we would make a straight line to the next dot, and then vice versa. So the next part of this exercise is a little different. It's to draw boxes in one-point perspective. Draw a horizon line, choose a vanishing point, and then draw a rectangle and connect each corner to the vanishing point, and then draw another rectangle in the distance with the between lines. You have a box. Draw through, which means you draw the opposite edges which wouldn't be seen through the solid surface. Okay, and then you trace the lines over to make the outside edges darker. So I'll show you exactly what we're talking about. So we're going to do this today for a little bit, and then we'll go to the next exercise. Okay? And the next exercise is to use a system called the XYZ system, and it creates two-point perspective. So we're going to be doing today perspective. Whoops, it's too close. Perspective 1 1. Alright, and I'm not going to get in depth with technical terms, but I'll basically break down how to do basic 1-point perspective, then we'll go to 2-point, right? But the reason we're doing this is to practice drawing straight lines, not actually to practice perspective. We're not actually trying to practice the perspective in terms of like drawing structures and figuring out how the structures align in a certain way. That'll come later. So let's do Perspective 101. We got to start with the vanishing point and horizon line. So here's my horizon line. Without holding shift, here's the big rule for today. No shift Tuesday. Oops, no shife. No shift Tuesday. Don't hold shift, because we're supposed to be practicing the lines ourselves. That's the whole point of this. So if you hold shift, you're defeating the purpose of the exercise. Oops. That's pretty straight. That's my horizon line for today. It kind of veers off here. It actually doesn't veer off there. It starts incorrect and I correct. But whatever. So you got straight line, no shift. And then we're going to start this label stuff. This is the horizon line. Then we're going to do a vanishing point. I'll do mine here. I'll call it vanishing point 1 because we'll put more on later. We'll put more on later. I'll make all my boxes in red. Just to differentiate a bit. Oops, didn't do that for some reason. Okay, red. And alright, so now we're going to just draw a rectangle. We're going to connect it and complete their box. So, using your freehand without holding shift, just draw a box. Draw a door. Draw a door. I'm not going to undo. I'm going to try to not undo anything. Okay, so we got one rectangle. I kind of messed up, but that's alright, because this is exercise. It's practice. We're studying. So, the next step is you're supposed to draw your next rectangle. Well, let me check this real quick. Sorry. Draw the rectangle, then we draw the connecting to the vanishing point. So now, depending on how far away you drew your rectangle, you're going to make this harder or easier for yourself. If you drew your rectangle way back here, you got a good, quick job to fill that out. But if you drew your rectangle way over here, you're going to have to go freehand all that way and make them straight, right? Let's try this. I'm going to actually turn my canvas because if I were doing this on paper, I would be turning it anyway. No shame in turning. It's a little off. Let me do it again. I didn't quite get it. There we go. Third try is the charm. Okay, so this looks oddly familiar to our previous. This looks oddly familiar to our previous exercise in which we connected that. And this is where that's going to kind of come into play now. We're going to draw these things in perspective. We're not going to use the shift button. We're not going to use Photoshop's magic. The idea is that we're practicing our motor skills. So, if you don't get that, if you don't understand that, I'm sorry. But don't hold shift. Practice your motor skills. Make it harder for yourself right now. And then, when you have to actually make a box and work on your normal projects, don't make it harder for yourself, make it easy for yourself. That's the whole point of this. Okay, straight to that dot. It's a little off. Let me do it one more time. There we go. It's two lines connected. Let's make a third 9 from this corner here. I'm going to rotate the canvas just a little bit. My hand's at a strange angle that is not good to work at. Yeah, do one more. I got way more off, so I got to come in closer. Whoop, hand moved. I undid that one. Oh, didn't mean to. Let me go back and fix that by adding in the mistake. Alright. Still off. Way off. Alright, oops. Oops. Damn it. Keeping the mistakes on there, boys. Girls. There's a blue. Blue will be our correct line. Maybe we'll go from the dot this time. It's a little off. There we go. That's my close enough line. Darken that a bit. And then we'll do one last line. This is the furthest one away. So what I need to do, the way I've drawn this rectangle, it's gonna, the corner is gonna kind of start clipping into this other line. Yeah, it's a little off. Ah, dang it. Just a force of habit, people. Keep your hand off the undo. Show those mistakes. The point of showing the mistakes is that you'll correct with your own hand. There we go. It's the second line. Man, it's rough. It's real rough. Switch back to black. Flip it over a bit. Now we're going to draw the opposite lines to complete the box. We're going slow and steady because we're trying to practice the motor skills. Make it have a light touch. So this corner here that I just made, it's going to connect to that blue line. But it's got to be directly above the end of the blue line here. So let's go ahead and just go, let's make this one go straight up until we hit that top blue line. Oops. There we go. Now from that corner to this next corner. See what's happening is one of these lines is off. That looks more correct. That looks more correct, which means something else is off. But let's go ahead and outline the box now. Lightly go back over the whole thing. Okay. Don't outline this inside line. We're going to stick on the outside. Okay, there we go. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. Red. Back to the red. Okay, sorry, just answering a message on my phone. Let me check the chat, but double check to see what's going on. Great. Suffer through this with me, people. Let's make another rectangle. Freehand it. Vertical. Horizontal. Vertical. Okay. This is our practice. This is what we're going to do. Connect those dots. So, based upon how we've made it so far, what I'm going to do is put down all my lines on this layer. I'm going to go up here and do my cleanup on this top layer. So what I'll be able to do is turn off this layer and you'll just see boxes, ideally. I didn't do that in the first one, but whatever, right? So. Alright, sorry, there's another message I had to send off. Okay, connecting these box corners to the vanishing point now. From the vanishing point to the corner, we're going to go to the top left corner. There you go. Same deal, different corner, bottom left corner, from the vanishing point to that corner. Okay. This corner, go to this the opposite corner now of right top. It's a little off. I know it should be going a little higher. Great, okay, so we kind of got it in there. Might be a little hard to see. Bottom right corner. Oops. Do it again. Don't erase it. Remember, this is like shooting hoops of basketball. You're going to miss them. Don't worry about missing them. Just keep going. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and connect some lines. It might be confusing now, but whatever. Make them straight. Go steady. Go slow. If you go faster, it'll work out too. I mean, like, you can go a little faster, but part of the exercise is to go slow. Because you'll get subtle control that you wouldn't have otherwise. See, that was just wrong right now. That line I just drew earlier. Right here. That one's wrong. Okay. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. The deal is, the thing is, if you've ever lifted weights, and if you go to the gym and lift weights at all, if you've ever done this before, you'll know this. If you lift a bunch of weights, if you lift a regular weight in several reps, you know, you'll pump up your muscles. But if you slowly lift the same weight, you're going to hit and access certain muscles that you wouldn't otherwise access. Because if you lift really fast, you start using the momentum of the lift. But if you lift really slow, and then you go back down really slow, you force all these little bitty muscles that you wouldn't have had to use to wake up and just basically like go, oh crap, we're lifting something. So if you slowly lift up and you slowly lift down, you'll get a better workout and you'll get more muscles you can actually use, right? So it's the same with art. It's the same with what we're doing here. If you don't go slowly right now in this exercise, you're missing the whole point of the exercise. If you're using the Photoshop tools, you're missing the whole point of the exercise. The whole point is to draw slowly and not use the tools, because you're specifically training your hand. Oops. Okay? That's the deal with this exercise. It's different from other stuff we've done, because in other stuff I'd clean it up and erase, and I would, I would just go through and get it done real fast. But if I do that now, it creates a problem, because I'm no longer getting the benefit of doing this exercise. Like, I know one-point perspective. I know how that works. I don't need to do one-point perspective. And if I actually have a project I need to work on that has one-point perspective, I'll know what to do, or if I really want to, I'll throw in SketchUp and just make it perfect, right? So the whole point of doing this today is not to learn one-point perspective. It's to practice making marks with your hand. Okay? So, and the reason I'm keeping the marks, the reason I'm not undoing, the reason I'm not erasing is simple. I forgot a line. This is off, this one line. Something is very off on this. Oh, you know what it is? This is not horizontal enough. Well, that's one thing. I feel like there's more. This too. This should be more horizontal. It's got to be more horizontal with the horizon line, which will make it look more correct. Anyway. Alright. Let's go to the next. Let's do another one. This will be the last one, and we'll go on to the next, we'll go on to the next, what should we call it? Exercise. Let's see what time I'm at. See how much work I gotta do today. 30 minutes, perfect. Let's finish this up, and then we'll go on to the next thing. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one to end all boxes. Not worked out well. Okay, there we go. Straight line. Connect to the vanishing point. Crap, messed that up. Connect to the vanishing point. That was terrible. Connect to the vanishing point. The reason we're not erasing is because you got to see where you've missed. So if I go from point A to point B, that worked a little too well. If I were to go to point A to point B and go like this, or like this, if I were to just be off, I can go, okay, I got to correct down. You know, then we get it more correct, right? But if I just undo it and I try it again, I might not realize how much I need to correct. Anyway. That's why we're not undoing. It kind of makes for some confusing lines, so if you don't want to be confused, get it right the first time. It's kind of how it works. If you don't want to confuse you that much, then do it right early on. And all this stuff's meant to be done on like paper with a pencil. It's not meant to be on digital computer. You'll have better control with a pencil and paper. You won't get a freak like accident where like a dark black line just shoots across the screen. And you don't need to worry about pressing undo. You just press really lightly. Oops. Press undo again. Should have done that. Okay, so we got different boxes at one point perspective. We didn't know one point perspective is how it works. You just you put a dot and then you make a box. Now I'm using shift to make a box now. And then you just go connect, 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 connect. Go back, secondary box within those lines. Connect those corners. There we go. That's one point perspective, right? And see how fast we can go with the tools of Photoshop. If you're still having trouble doing it, learn it, understand it, and then go get SketchUp. Seems to be the route everyone goes. Okay. Next exercise is 2-point. It's going to take a little bit to go through this. I feel like by the time I explain everything and do it, it's going to be, it's going to have taken a little bit of time. So, bear with me, people, as we go through how to draw XYZ coordinate system. I'm just reading through the book, sorry, got real quiet. I use my red lines to make my first, and I'll do blue. Blue lines to make my first marks, and I'll do black on top. Drawing in 2-point perspective. Horizon line. Wow, that was terrible. There we go. It's good enough. No, one more time. I can do it better than that. This one's going to be the best. There we go. That was it. Took a while. Sorry. Okay, horizon line. Let's label it so we know what we're working with here. We gotta draw the front corner of a box. So this is different, right? Earlier we drew the horizon line, then we drew the vanishing point. Now we're going to draw the horizon line, and we're going to draw where we want the building / box to be. So let's say I want my box to be here. I want it like corner to be here, and I want it to look this skewed in terms of the perspective, right? It's like an average, like if you're drawing characters walking around a street corner, this would be about where you want to draw them, right? It's not too crazy. It's not like a fisheye. It's like a pretty standard setup as far as like a street corner goes. You have like a sign, crosswalk. Alright, so you've got your, this is where we want to work from. So you put down the corner you want. They're going to extend the X and Y axis until they intersect the horizon line. That means we're going to create our vanishing points with the box itself. So I'm going to start from this corner, go out. It's almost right here. Okay, great. Same with the other side. That one goes off. Okay, let me use the magic of Photoshop to adjust my little corner. And there we go. Magic of Photoshop. Okay, so it's over here somewhere. And then if I extend my horizon line, I'm going to extend my horizon line by holding shift so that y'all understand that I didn't do that by... There we go. So this becomes vanishing point, the left vanishing point, and this becomes the right vanishing point. We're not going to say vanishing point 1 or 2. We'll just go right or left, okay? So now we're going to draw the line. So from the top of our corner, remember we wanted the top of the corner of the box to be here. We're going to connect those to the vanishing points now. Oops. This goes back to that little game we played. We got to connect the dots. Okay, it's a little better. It's not entirely correct, but I get the idea. And I did undo a lot, so whatever. Sorry. Sorry, I stopped caring. I didn't mean to. Oh, there we go. That's pretty close. Okay. So, from the vertical line, you connect to your 2 vanishing points. And we're going to find a place. Let's say I want the building to be way back here. Make another vertical line. No, I want it to kind of come around here. Make another vertical line. Alright? Now that we've added 2 verticals at any distance, we're going to now connect. I'm going to connect this vertical here with vanishing point right. Okay. Same thing, opposite. This line goes to vanishing point left. Not horizon. The horizon. The horizon. It's getting complicated. The lines are getting messy here. They meet here. It's hard for y'all to see it, but they meet like right here. Vertical straight down. Same thing with the bottom of these lines. Bottom of the line's got to go to the vanishing point. Vanishing point. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't look right. Oh, you got to put in your. This is when you put in the back line. So this line here is like wrong. Now listen to that. So this would be where it is here, the corner. It's hard for me to see. I got lost in my own mess. Lost in my own mess, people. Sorry. Okay, now let me jump up to this new layer and we'll outline everything so it can make it a little easier for people to see what's going on. Just go light with the inside lines. See where it's off. Ooh, it's terribly off. What's that about? Should be up here. I've drawn enough of these boxes to know where it should be. Anyway, great. See, that's how you draw a really janky looking box in 2-point perspective. Yeah, don't go there. Sorry. Noose, nouse, noose. New? Is it French? Okay, let's do that again. What time is it? Gotta double check. I got work I gotta do today, so I can't like stay on here forever. But I hope that could be a time. 40? Yeah, we could do another one. We'll start over here. It's 2-point perspective. Let me just go through it. I'm gonna go through it with just the Photoshop shortcuts. I'm gonna go through it with the Photoshop shortcuts. That way, if you just didn't understand it, I can actually show you. If you've never done it freehand before. Let me turn off. I gotta turn off this tapering mode. Oops. Just in general, if you don't know the 2-point perspective, because if you don't actually understand it, then it's even harder to try and do it for practice. We start with, we start with the horizon line. You make a corner, like wherever you want your building. Like I keep saying building because this is normally used in like scene building stuff, like storyboarding in comics when you gotta show a building. Let's say I want it here, and then you gotta make the corner. Make it however you want, doesn't matter. Here we go. So now you have to extend these lines to the horizon line. I gotta extend my horizon line again. I should have just kept it normal. The horizon line is like here, I think. It's a little off. It's here. There we go. I'm using all the shortcuts, people. It's different. There we go. That's okay. So you connect your bottom lines with the horizon line. Clean out the box so y'all don't get confused. Okay. Connect the top line with the same horizon line point, the vanishing point, sorry. This establishes our right vanishing point. Sorry, I didn't put this in. And then wherever that is going to be our left vanishing point. So we've got to like guesstimate it to here. I think it's here. Woo. There we go. Make a vertical wherever you want it. A vertical wherever you want it. And you gotta draw the top verticals, connect those to the vanishing points. If I connect it back here, connect it back here, it should create this vertex, which will be the back line. And then the bottom here needs to also go back here. That might be off, but just so y'all know. Back here. So once you, yeah, there, that's correct. So now that we got the whole box set up, and it's hard to see because all the lines intersect, we'll make a new layer and we'll just draw it in correctly. So we end up having a box in 2-point perspective. And this holding shift and clicking creates a straight line for you. Oops. Creates a straight line for you. We haven't been doing that because we're trying to work on our muscle memory of our hand. So we turn off, if I clear this layer underneath it, you'll have a box in 2-point perspective, right? So now that y'all understand that, we'll go through it and do it freehand one time. So do it on this layer. I'll do it smaller and I'll do it over here. Let me zoom into 100%. There we go. We'll do it right here. Let me switch my brush. Show my guide color. So first we start off all freehand now, all freehanded. No shift, no Photoshop stuff. Don't erase it either. So the more you mess up, the worse it's gonna look. That's needed. It's necessary. Shit. I'm gonna move the canvas. Oh my god. Straight line. Warm up the hand. Okay, let's try this again. Do it down here. There we go. We got a little bit of a straight there. This is the horizon line. Label it horizon line. Draw the vertical you want. Remember, freehand it. Draw the corners. I'm going to kind of keep the corners within the horizon line. Because in keeping it within the horizon line, it's going to look really skewed, right? The wider the points are on the horizon line, the less skewed it's going to look. It's going to look less like a fisheye. So let's connect now. Now that you've done these little feet, you got to connect those to the horizon line. Freehand it, remember. Oh, man, that worked really well. Right vanishing point, we'll label it. Now I keep saying right vanishing, right. Right vanishing point. Gotta do left vanishing point. You can rotate the canvas if you need to. Try not to erase anything. Try not to undo anything. The mistakes help you figure out where you need to go. Freehand it. That was really good too. Okay, great. Left vanishing point. Now, I was a little off from my line actually. If you see here, this is the original line. It's off. So I could go back in and fix it, or I could just say I'm happy with the one I made. So I'm going to say happy with the one I made for the sake of time. And continue. Now we're going to connect the top of the line here to the same vanishing points. Now that the vanishing point is established, we have to adhere to it, or else it won't work. In terms of like shit. The perspective won't look right if we don't adhere to those vanishing points. I should be doing this in one steady stroke, but it throws everything off so much if you mess up. Let me do it again. And undo that one. It's too... Okay, that's close enough there. I can kind of see where it's supposed to be. Another freehand line. Another freehand line. Okay, now I gotta connect these points to the same vanishing points. It's gonna start getting a little messy, but just go steady, go slow. Immediately mess up. Don't immediately mess up. It's not gonna work. It's too hard to see. Okay. It's a little off. It's alright. Don't beat yourself up over it. I'm only saying that because that's what I'm thinking in my head. There we go. Okay. I'm trying to not... Okay, there we go. I'm trying to not make too much chicken scratch because it's hard to see where my lines need to go at the end. If you're off, the vertices won't line up if you're off. See how that doesn't match? That's why it's important. I think I was completely off in both of them actually. Starting back here. We can sit here and get this motor skill down, right? Keep going higher, you gotta go lower to compensate. Still off. It's nothing glitching, people, it's just me doing it over and over again. I can see the arc, I don't want it to arc. Oh, maybe that's it too. My hand's kind of off. My hand's off in terms of the rotation of the canvas. That might have been it now. Okay, really slow. Oh my god. Yeah, that was close enough. Alright, back to the next one. Oh my god, okay. this intersection point back. It's not good. Okay. That was really close. So basically, the ideal goal too is that this line is going to hit above this bottom intersection point, and it's going to continue back to the vanishing point. If there's anything off on that, it means you messed up on the other corner. It's easier on paper, really. This would be way easier on paper. My hand keeps sticking to the tablet, and that sounds like an excuse, but it makes a huge difference. Your hand just won't. Your hand just won't, move properly. It needs to move properly. It needs to be reliably moving across the canvas appropriately. Let's outline the whole thing, see how bad we did. Freehand the outline too, so. Right. Not too bad. You get the idea, though. One thing that you should take away from this whole two-point perspective thing, everyone does. I did this, and I think everyone that I've seen that tries two-point perspective does this. When you do two-point perspective, you're normally trying to draw a city scene or a building. And what you do is you'll end up saying, like, okay, I want to do two-point perspective, and I want to make a building. So you draw your vanishing point, and you draw your horizon line, and you're like, okay, I'm going to draw a building scene. Here's my, oops, whoa. You're like, I got to draw my, building scene. So here's my horizon line, and sorry, I'm just trying to draw it straight. Here we go. Here's my horizon line, so I got to draw my building, and I want my building to be in two-point perspective, so I'm going to first draw a horizon line, then I'm going to say, okay, I need 1 point, I need another point, and now I need to draw my building, so here's my, I got to draw my lines out from here, because that's what two-point perspective is, and you're like, oh, wait, my building's super, like, skewed. My building's like this terrible shape. And if you notice, you drew it correctly because you matched up the actual vanishing points, right? So you don't know what to do because now your building looks like this. And your characters are going to have to look all skewed too because the building looks so skewed. The big takeaway from drawing two-point perspective, freehand at all, or anything like that, is that you got to start by first putting in the horizon line, and then you put where you want the building to be first, and you put the angle of distortion into the building by putting those first two lines in. So those first two lines are vital. These first three lines, I'm sorry. These first three lines are vital because that's where you actually want the building to be, and based on how far apart these lines are, that's how distorted the entire image is going to be. So if you make them like that, you know, this building is going to be like almost like a boat. You know, it's going to look like it's just not right. But you got to set them wide. What you're going to learn is if you set them really wide, your vanishing points are like way over here. Like your vanishing points are going to be like out here somewhere. Even if your paper is only this big. If your paper is only that big, your vanishing point will be way out there, right? So you generally need to go a lot wider than you think you do with 2-point perspective. If this is your actual piece of paper, and that's the building, it's supposed to take, you know, if the building's supposed to take up the whole piece of paper or something, you see where the issue is. You got to like go way outside the bounds. So you do things like set up some tape to mark off the actual vanishing point. Set up tape, set up string, set up something so you're just drawing your table. You know, the only issue being that if you had to do more drawings, you got to erase whatever you drew on your table. Or you have a bigger piece of paper that's like, it's just the scratch piece for you to do your vanishing points and stuff. A larger piece of paper. With digital stuff, it doesn't really matter. With digital stuff, if you're in Photoshop, you can open up these guides, and like I could actually say, okay, I'm gonna pull this guide. What you do is you grab from the ruler and you drag your guide out, and you put one down for the horizon line, and then I got this one here for my right vanishing point, and then my left vanishing point is gonna be somewhere out here. I think it's like right around here. So I don't need to draw the vanishing point so much as I just need to click at the right place. So if we are going to be working in Photoshop, you say, okay, here's my point. I click to here. Here's my point. You just line it up in the crosshairs, click to here. Make a straight line. Okay. Click on the top. Click to my point over here. Click on the bottom, click to my point, and you hold a shift when you click if you're wondering what I'm doing, if you haven't seen that before. Then you go make your other straight lines, and then you click on this corner, and you go back and forth, the same thing we did before. But like when it comes to like if the vanishing point's off the canvas, you click on your guides. Like that's literally what the guides are like made for. So don't be afraid to use them. Right, so now that I can see that these points are right here. And then I can reinforce that by okay, see how that worked out? Look how fast that was. And I didn't actually have to draw the horizon line. All I had to do was draw the, I just put my guides down. Oops. I just put my guides down, so then once the guides are down, I could just make whatever I want. And at the end of it, I could just press Command H and the guides disappear and be like, look, this is my building, or my box, or my television, whatever you're trying to draw. So that's a good way to work in Photoshop. If you're really going to use Photoshop, don't skimp on the tools, you know. Cool. I think I'm almost out of time because I gotta get to work now. Yeah, it's been an hour. Great. So we learned some basic perspective, and more importantly, we practiced the motor skills we need to improve our overall art abilities. Let's check the chat. CJ Marsh. Don't go to the meat spin thing, Pine. Welcome, Pine. We're about to end it. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for joining me today. I think I'm gonna keep doing these Scott Robertson exercises for the next week or so. I need to update lots of stuff. I haven't done the thread and the forum, so I'll get that open. If you haven't been to the forum, you can post all your work here. and the partner and daily group studies. If you're following along, or if you're doing your own studies, the whole point is you're doing an hour of study a day. So there you go. Again, thanks for joining me. I'm going to put some outro music on for y'all, and then I'm going to update a bunch of stuff today and draw. So, cool. Great. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Thank you again. Let's get some music going. And get out of here. Have a good day, everybody. I'll be online later drawing.
Trust me, is the skyline sliced up into pieces and broken steel and mesh? Or is the progress a process that's a natural people quest? Metal and the workings, dark and lurking in my mind. Branded neon red and blue flashes, the view from the flats is nice. I see Alice in Wonderland, I see malice in Sunderland. Mouse to house, I am this land, the where without it's Fumberland.